Hello Internet, how you guys doing? It's me, Ricardo, the Cynical Critic, and it's another vlog for me, and it's been about a week since the news came out, and again, I like to wait a little while to just see how things are going to go down, and see how people are going to react, and I have to say, people reacted exactly how I thought they would. But in case you haven't heard, the voice of Qrow, Vic Mignogna, has been replaced by another voice actor. Now, I don't really know too much about this voice actor. Apparently his name is Jason Leberick. I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right. To be honest, I'm bad with names to begin with. But I have to say that I agree with a lot of people out there, a lot of respectable people out there. Yes, that it also includes Qrow, while there's several things I don't agree with him on. At least I agree with him on this, and that is to say that the voice actor seems to be a very respectable man. He has done a lot of good work. He has been able to hold his own in the voice acting community, and he may be a good choice to replace Vic Mignogna. Now, to be honest, I really don't like this, but this is sort of a better of two evils because, well, the show must go on. Roosterteeth, I understand, is a company, and thus they must produce a product, and the product just so happens to be Ruby. And I know a lot of people like to say that a lot of their other content is pretty profitable, but let's just face the fact, so far nothing has come close to what Ruby is right now. So they have to create the Season 7, and they have to get it out there. Heck, if you've noticed, Season 7 is actually going to be released a little bit later than what they are usually releasing it at. I think it's usually like close to the end of October, but now they're going to be releasing it somewhere in the beginning of November. To be honest, I really don't care about that. Wait until next year if you have to. Bring us a good product. That's all I care about. But getting back to the topic of Vic Mignogna being replaced, especially with everything that's going down with his court hearings, and I have to admit, the reason why people have joined Vic Mignogna's side, or at least the reason why a good deal of people who had no idea who this man was, the reason why we joined his side is simply because of how you idiots, I'm talking about the Kick Vicers, the extreme ones out there, have been behaving. And yes, this also includes several of the voice actors and how they have been treating Vic as well. Listen, if you guys had just said, okay, we'll give him a chance, we'll let him defend himself, this would have literally gone under the radar. No one will have noticed. And yes, something might have come up that indeed would have convicted Vic. But just judging by how everything was going down, this is very similar to the Me Too movement, where yes, it was a good, noble cause, but you guys killed yourselves. You started bringing up fake information, you started lying, which meant that any information that was legitimate that would come up would eventually just fall apart. But what does this have to do with Vic Mignogna being replaced? Well, simply, it has to do with Roosterteeth. And, well, there have been, like I said, there have been some very interesting responses to their decision on this. And to be honest, I hate both those extremes. I hate both extremes that are currently going on in the comment sections. I hate those that say Vic Mignogna is clearly evil, he should be locked away and he should be left with those people who are very similar to him, and they should do the same thing to him as he did to all those women. I hate those people. You guys are idiots. You need to shut up. You're not helping the case, okay? You're hurting it. You're hurting all the people who really do have legitimate stories to tell. And of course I hate those people who are like, oh, Roosterteeth are just, oh, they're just taking the side of those haters out there. I'm never going to watch anything from Roosterteeth again. In fact, I hope the company goes under. You dummies need to shut up too, because let's face it, no one wants Roosterteeth to go under. We love Roosterteeth, and hearing about all these things that are going down with them, with particular people stepping down or being fired, whichever the case may be, it doesn't bode well. To be honest, I don't think Roosterteeth is going to go anywhere anytime soon. At the very least, they may be reduced, you know, in some staff, and then at the very most, they may no longer be a company as they are right now. They may end up being just a bunch of friends again who make videos and have to build everything up from the bottom again. But to be honest, none of us want that. What we all want is things to turn out well. We want Vic, if Vic is cleared, if he hasn't really done anything like you guys were saying, we want his name to be cleared. We want him to come back to voice acting. If not, if he has clearly done some things, throw him away. I don't really care. But we do want this healing to occur, and most importantly, in the community. Because like I said, I think we can all agree we hate those extreme people. Whichever side they take, we don't like you. You need to shut up. And sadly, one of the main problems is Roosterteeth isn't joining the fray. I know this sounds a little weird because aren't they a business? I mean, shouldn't they not join the fray? This would be it's a bad thing, right? No, they need to state their opinions. What we all agree is that when it comes to any business, whether it be a small family-run business to these giant corporations, is that we all agree that there should be some transparency. Whatever's going on in the background, listen, just tell your customers. For the most part, we're still going to come to you because you have the stuff we want. We're still going to go to Roosterteeth because they still make Ruby. They still own it, okay? So, what did Roosterteeth do, or more importantly, what didn't do? Well, they announced that, what they did do, is they announced that Jason Levick was going to be replacing the voice actor Vic Mignogna as Qrow. What they didn't do was, again, state the reasoning behind that. And again, it's nothing simple. Like I said this back in my first little vlog, I think back in February when I first heard about Vic and I gave my opinion about it. I said all Roosterteeth really needs to do is simply come out and say, hey guys, listen, this is a very serious situation. We're trying to back off from this. We're trying to keep our distance from this so we're not caught up in all that craziness. If Vic is cleared, we will welcome him back. If not, we've already fired him, okay? Please, behave yourselves. That's all they really need to do, is just tell their fans to behave themselves. I think Vic is a monster. You are no longer our fan. We don't want you. I think you guys are terrible. Well, you're apparently no longer a fan already, so goodbye. That's all they need to do. Yes, it's a little harsh, but to be honest, it will help quell everything down there. By them being the big daddy and being that final voice that says, listen, this is what we think. If you are going to go to either extreme, we don't want you here. You want to calm yourself down? Talk properly? Speak with indoor voices? Sure, come. We welcome it. But they didn't do that, and sadly, yes, I have to agree with a lot of people out there that it was a dumb decision because it's only going to compound. Especially since apparently some emails have come out between, apparently I think the CEO of Roosterteeth, Matt, I'm not going to say the last name, but you guys, if you've been with Roosterteeth for a while, you know which Matt I'm talking about. Contact, or at least getting into contact with Monica, and I'm sorry to say, the way Monica's been acting seems less like somebody who actually was afflicted and more like somebody who is desperately trying to quell an argument before, well, the truth comes out. And sad to say, that those emails may pull Roosterteeth in this. And to be honest, I'm hoping it does. Simply because I know at the end of the day, Roosterteeth is going to be like a company. They're going to be very similar to Funimation, where they're going to just say, oh, you know what, we're going to cut a deal. And with Roosterteeth, they have a lot more going for them, because Vic has already explained that he wants back in. He wants not back into the show per se, but back into the fans' hearts. He wants to heal all this. And if they're willing to, you know, apologize more or less, I'm sure Vic is going to say, you know what, we'll let bygones be bygones. You can hire me back. No need to increase pay or anything like that. Just publicly apologize and let's put this all behind us. Yeah, so it's one of the reasons why I'm behind him, people. He seems like he's definitely acting nicer than these supposed victims, okay? And usually that is the reverse. So something's going on. But again, evidence could come forward. Hopefully it is real evidence and not fabricated. We'll go from there. But as for Vic being replaced, interestingly enough, not too long ago after he was fired, I don't really follow the Ruby community. There's one Facebook page that I do technically follow, and it's only because they post a decent amount of pictures every now and then, and an occasional meme. And I enjoy looking at those from time to time, just because, well, the artists are very talented, and the memes are occasionally funny. But one of the things that they posted, which had to do with, well, with Qrow's new voice being in sort of limbo, was just this little thing that they said that they wanted from the hashtag RubyFandom. The first thing, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because while technically it isn't completely bad, it's one of those things where you have to clarify your statement because it can be taken either way. And the first thing they say is respect Qrow's new voice actor. And first of all, that goes without saying, people. This dude, I don't know who he really is, but he doesn't seem to be involved in this whole Kick Vic thing. So, to be honest, just let him give it a try, okay? If he does very well, then yes, we're supporting him. If he doesn't do very well, then yeah, maybe we need to find a new voice actor. But to be honest, it seems that he may do a good job. However, it's how he treats his predecessor. If he goes, you know what, Vic was a talented voice actor, I don't know what is really going on, but I hope that it all turns all right for everyone involved. And I'm just going to try to do my best to respect the legacy that he did make, regardless of whatever he's done. Then yeah, we're going to respect him. But if he disses Vic in any way, I guarantee you, most people, even people who aren't really for Vic, are not going to respect him in any way because he's proven not to be respectable. So, when it comes to respecting the new voice actor, I do agree, people. We should give him a chance. If he fails that, go at him. If he doesn't, well, let's just continue on. Hopefully he'll bring us the Qrow that we love. And hopefully, yes, again, things blow over, Vic comes back, and we can be able to move on with our lives. But the second thing they said, and this one's a little bit more interesting, is that if the hashtag Bumblebee, and I still hate that, come on people, just go with Bumblebee, it sounded cooler. Yes, I know the motorcycle is also there, but just suck it up. But if hashtag Bumblebee becomes canon, don't drop the show. First of all, I will get to this when I get to the video, which is currently in the process of being made right now. But if Bumblebee becomes canon, I won't drop the show. I'm pretty sure some people might, because no ship should become canon. I'll explain this later, but no ship should become canon because ships are fan-made ideas. They're bent more towards how the fans see the characters. Now, if Blake and Yang get into a relationship, that's a different story. Those are the characters in canon, in their own personalities, with no pollution from the fans trying to have their own ideas conflict with each other. Okay? But here's the other side of that coin. If Bumblebee doesn't become canon, don't drop the show. I agree. If it becomes canon or doesn't become canon, don't drop the show. It's the same thing with Qrow, for crying sake. And that at least had a bit more evidence towards it because a lot of people did like that character and it was becoming more canon. But she died. And we still love that moment because of what it represented. But still, yes, don't drop the show. Even if there's a moment that is sort of bad, don't drop the show, people. Just watch it to the end. It won't have its final word until the very last episode. But continuing on, this is where it gets a bit more interesting towards me, especially with how some people have said, respect Miles and Carrie. And to be honest, that's becoming harder and harder. Miles and Carrie are good character writers. That is to say, they're able to shape and form characters very well in a way that the voice actors are able to bring out the best, for the most part. When it comes to their villains, for some reason, they stink at it to a high heaven degree. The only villain so far who has actually been able to be interesting has been Salem, and that's simply because of the voice actor. Cinder, I like to defend her, but I have to agree, there are certain aspects that clearly not well written, and basically every other character, stereotyped and poorly written. Let's not even get into how Adam was, how he was dealt with. But to be honest, yes, respect Miles and Carrie. They're at the end of the day the ones writing. While I still think that he should get somebody else on board, a third writer who will focus solely on story and villain while they focus on the characters, we still respect him. Even after Miles, of course, defended Kick Vic, believe it or not. I don't know what Carrie has done with this situation, but to be honest, well, again, it's not going to help matters if you start screaming and yelling at them. Hold them responsible, and hold them accountable for whatever they do. But at the end of the day, love and respect. Okay? The next thing that I deeply disagree with is stop using Monty's name for your arguments. First of all, so long as Roosterteeth continues to say, in dedication to Monty Ohm, we're gonna hold Monty's Ohm's name in very high regard, okay? The moment they say, okay, we're no longer doing this for Monty, he has nothing to do with this, then yeah, Monty's name means nothing. But at the end of the day, Monty did set things up, and he did put things in a certain way, and we have to admit, his name holds significantly more weight than both Miles and Carrie combined. However, yes, if you're using it in that whole stupid argument where you're trying to throw it out in order to end the argument, yes. For me, it's very simple. Monty set certain standards up that Miles and Carrie need to uphold. When it came to the fighting, they sort of failed at that until, of course, we got to the end of Volume 5 and started Volume 6. Even then. Certain characters, Miles and Carrie, have done very well upholding that. But other things they've kind of failed at, especially when it came to certain interactions. For instance, as I have said before, the team of Ruby, I believe, by Monty's own words, was a team of sisters. And the reason for that, for story writing, was very, very clear. It gets rid of all that romantic stuff so that we don't have to worry about the internal conflict like that usually has a tendency to just tear apart these kind of stories. But at the end of the day, yes, I do have to agree to some extent. Stop just throwing out Monty's name in a way to try to end the argument. You can respect Monty, and that's what we should always do. This is his creation. So long as it's still being made as it is his creation, we should respect the creator. But yeah, the thing I fully agree with is their last statement, which was respect each other. And I do agree with that. Come on, we're a community. We are the fans. We're supposed to have respect for each other, even if we may differ from ideas, even if we may differ from certain goals we have for the show. At the end of the day, we have really no control over it. Miles and Carrie could shut their ears and do whatever they want. Even if it goes against Monty's wishes, they can do whatever they want. That's why we shouldn't be shouting at them. We should instead be encouraging them, building them up, holding them responsible, holding them accountable. But yeah, let's stop with the yelling, people. When it comes down to it, I have to admit, I'm a little iffy on the whole how they handled the replacement of Vic. I hope things go well in the future, and to be honest, I hope things go well, both not just with Vic, but of course any of his accusers. Because as things have been going so far, it seems to be leaning more towards Vic. Mainly because of the fact that at least he's been kind, respectable, and has been willing to cooperate to figure things out. Whereas everyone else on that particular dropkick side, you guys have been acting very, very childish. And it shows. And now that we're in the big leagues in the courts, as we've seen before, this is not going to end well if you continue to act like children. But anyways, guys, you take care. That's been basically my thoughts about whole Vic replacement. I hope that the new voice actor Jason does well, and I hope things turn out for Vic. Most importantly, I hope things turn out well for the show Ruby. I hate it when great ideas are killed simply because of a stupid decision, most likely predicated by the fans. You guys take care. Toodles.